Namaste. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Angeline, and this is going to be our practice today. Today's practice will focus on being grounded and feeling centered. And pretty much like any of our classes that I like doing are yin classes, yin yoga classes. You really don't need props today. I always suggest if you feel like you want a blanket to kind of help give you some support in your hips, go ahead and grab one real quick. And also maybe a couple of blocks in case you want a little bit more support in your practice. So to get started, we're just going to sit in a simple cross-leg seated position. And we're going to close our eyes, which kind of helps us tune out anything that's going on and tune into ourselves. We are going to do this for about 3 minutes. And we want to bring our attention to our breath. So start with an inhale. You want to breathe in through your nose. As you breathe in through your nose, you do want to fill up your belly, your chest, and lift those collarbones at the end of that inhalation. And once you finish inhaling as much as you can, go ahead and start to exhale, and just exhale everything out through the mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. These are nice, deep, cleansing breaths. We want to do an alternate nostril breath or breathing technique. To begin, you want to take your 2 fingers, first 2 fingers, the pointer finger and middle finger, bring them right in between the eyebrows. Take your thumb and put it on the left side of outside part of your nostril, and then take the ring finger and put it on the outside of the right nostril. We're going to close off that right nostril, breathe in through the left. Again, filling up the belly, the chest, lifting those collarbones. Now close off the left side of your nose and then exhale out through the right side of your nose. Close off the right, inhale through the left. Close off left, exhale through right. Close off right, inhale through left. Close off left, exhale right. Now let's inhale through the right nostril. Close off the right, exhale through the left. Close off left, inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. Close off left, inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. And release your hand. And then just go ahead and take one more nice deep inhale through both nostrils. And then exhale everything out. Since our theme is grounding and centered, our mantra will be, I am grounded and centered. We're going to come into our first pose, which is going to be a butterfly pose. You can bring your hips to that front ledge of your blanket. And we're going to be here about 5 minutes. Remember, in our yin yoga practice, we're not going to go into the full expression of our pose. You only want to go to where you start to feel sensation. So we're going to inhale, elongate through the spine, and then exhale, fold forward at the hips, walk those hands forward, bring the elbows on the outside of the shins. Here is where you can use a block if you choose. And just bring it underneath your head and just allow yourself to relax into this pose. Remembering to stay engaged with that 3-part breath, using it as an anchor in your practice. So breathe in through the nose. And then we'll exhale through the nose as well. Each time you exhale, let that exhale be a little bit longer so you can really let the tension release from the body. As you inhale, you're doing that 3-part breath where the belly fills up, then the chest, and then the collarbones lift. Here we're working the gallbladder and liver meridian, kidney meridian as well. The gallbladder and liver meridian kind of work together. The gallbladder is the decision maker, and the liver meridian is the executor, the action taker. The kidney is the essence, it's the storer of the essence. So if you feel like you can go down a little bit further and you want to keep that block, go ahead and shift it to where you can lower a little bit more. But remember, we're going to be here for a minute. We're actually here for 5 minutes, and we're probably about halfway through. So we hold these poses because we want to work the connective tissue. So it's not like a hatha practice where we're working our muscles and strengthening and stretching. Here we're holding these asanas so we can create a stress on our ligaments, tendons, and fascia. And that stress helps to elicit a change, to condition these tissues without injuring them. But it can be uncomfortable if you're really tight or if you have adhesions or restrictions in the body. It could be painful, so you don't want to endure any pain during your yin practice. You want to come out to where you just start to feel sensation, and that's going to be your baseline. That's going to be where you start. And then you just keep practicing your practice and working with that until you're able to release more. You may never be able to release more, or it may be just very little advancements or release. But just know that you're keeping your body and those tissues from getting more tense and getting worse down the road. If you practice now and continue your practice, it may be more of a preventative and maintenance type practice than healing and restoring. I mean, you may just be where you are, and that's okay. We're going to inhale use our hands to walk ourselves back up. And since we hold these poses for a while, we want to do what's called a transitioning pose. So we're just going to lean back onto our hands and rock those knees side to side, doing a little windshield wiper here. This just helps to move the blood and chi through the body again. As we're holding the pose in our asana, we're going to kind of cause a little bit of a stagnation, and then once we release that, that's when the blood and chi starts flowing again. And we just want to help it along with our little transitioning pose. You don't have to move in your transition pose either. You just kind of want to counterbalance what your asana was. So we're going to come into a deer pose. Here we're going to lean over to our left, take that right leg, bring that foot back towards the glute. And we're going to be here 3 minutes. Here, if you feel like your arm's a little short, the left arm, you can bring a block underneath. You just want to prop your arm straight. Don't let that hip, I don't know why I was calling the shoulder the hip, but don't let your shoulder hike up into your ear. You want to keep the shoulders as level as you can. The right hand is going to be in front of the pubic bone. And then we're just going to be here, engaging in our breath again, using it to anchor into our practice. Okay, and closing our eyes to help us tune into the sensations that we feel in our bodies. Breathing in and out through our nose, that 3-part breath. And when you exhale, you want that exhale to be a little bit longer. That helps to engage the parasympathetic aspect of our nervous system, which is the part where the healing and recuperating happens. Anytime you feel like you need to make any adjustments to either go more into your asana or to come back out because you may have realized you went a little too far, feel free to do that at any time. We're going to go ahead, exhale, leaning over to the left. We're going to unwind that right leg, bring the feet back together. Here for our transitioning pose, we can just flap our butterfly wings. Just take a few breaths here. And then we're going to lean to the right as we bring that left foot back towards the glute. You may also notice here that both sides of your body is different. One side you may be able to get deeper into your pose. The other side may not be as much. definitely my left side feels a lot tighter today. Your foot, you can have it pointed or flexed. Again, you want to bring your upper body to the center and have it as aligned as you can. You want both of the hip bones to be on that blanket, both of the sitting bones, I'm sorry. Again, making any adjustments you feel like you need to make at any time. And always stay engaged with your breathing, breathing in through your nose, filling up the belly, the chest, lifting those collarbones. And then at the end of the inhalation, take a pause and then exhale everything out through the nose, dropping the collarbones, emptying the chest, and then emptying your belly. Imagining the tissues of your legs and your body melting and releasing into your mat, into the floor. Allowing your body to shift and move the way it needs to without resisting too much. Exhale, lean over to the right. Bring that left foot back to the right foot. And we're just going to flap these butterfly wings here for a minute or a few seconds, actually. Just allow yourself to be aware of the shifting of energy in your body. You may feel warm or cold sensations. That's completely normal. The only thing you don't want to feel is pain during your session. So here you can use your blanket to kind of lift your wrists off the floor. We're going to come into a melting heart pose. So to come into melting heart, you want to take the hips over the knees, walk your hands forward a bit, and then shift. Once you're kind of coming down to the floor, you want to shift the hips back just a tad bit so you're not sliding or moving too much. And then bring your head to your blanket, or you can bring it straight to the floor. We want to work the heart meridian. This is the supreme controller. It rules through insight and understanding. We want to cultivate this within ourselves. We want that chi to run through the meridian without any restrictions or blockages. If you feel there's a pinching in your shoulders, you can walk your elbows wide. We're just going to be here for about 4 minutes. We've already been here for a minute, so we only have 3 more to go. And again, engaging in that breath. Breathing in through the nose and then exhaling through the nose. let that space underneath the arms really open and release. You want to press through your hands just a bit, keeping those wrists from bending too much. It's almost as if the pressure is coming from the tips, the pads of your upper fingers, or the upper aspect of your fingers. You're not really trying to press through the heel of the hand. We're creating lines of energy with our asanas, and we want to allow that energy to flow and shift as it needs to. You don't have to worry too much on how this works or how it looks. Allow your practice to be more about how you sense the sensations through your body, how you feel what's going on in your body, and allowing yourself to find comfort and stillness within this practice. Once you find that stillness, holding for the amount of time that we are choosing to do the asana for. And the most important part of coming into a yin pose is only going to your appropriate edge. We're going to inhale and press our hands back towards her body. You can take your blanket out to the side if you want. And we're just going to do a few cat-cows here. So again, you got the hips over your knees, your shoulders over your wrists. We're going to inhale, drop our bellies, lift our head and tailbones up. And then exhale, lift the upper back towards the ceiling and drop the head down towards the mat, bringing the head and tailbone toward one another. And then inhale and exhale. Let your exhales be just a little bit longer. Inhale and exhale. Do one more time. Inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead and take a seat onto our blankets. We're going to come into a straddle pose. So you're going to take those legs as wide as you can. You're going to bring your glutes, well, the gluteal cleft, that's where the legs meet the glutes. And you want to bring that on that front ledge of your mat. And we are going to be here 3 minutes over each leg. So we're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist towards your right leg. And exhale down, folding over that knee. And coming down to where you just start to feel that sensation. Again, engaging that breath, breathing in and out through your nose. just about there. Continuing to breathe in and out through the nose, allowing your body to relax and release, and let all the tension flow out as you exhale. Inhale, bring ourselves back up. And then we're going to go ahead and walk over to the left side. Well, before we do that, let's inhale, elongate through our spine. And then exhale, twist towards the left, and then walk our hands towards the foot and lean over that left knee. Feel the hamstrings open and release as you lean over that leg, allowing your head to fall forward towards the knee and the floor as you exhale. Let all that tension out. Inhale ourselves back up to center. We're going to lean back onto our hands, bringing the feet together in front of us, and we're just going to take those windshield wipers again. And we're just about there. We have one more asana before Shavasana. Again, if you want to revisit your mantra, just repeat, I am centered and grounded, or I am grounded and centered. So we're going to come onto our backs now, and we're going to take a twisted roots pose. So bring your arms out into a T. You want to bend the knees, press through your feet, shift your hips toward the left, walk those feet over, taking the left leg and cross it over the right. Take a nice deep inhale, and then exhale and drop that left knee towards the floor, Lift your head and look over that left arm. And here I would have my palms up. And we're just going to be here for about 3 minutes. Again, breathing in and out through our nose. As you breathe in, you want to fill up your belly, then your chest, lifting the collarbones. And then exhale everything out, dropping those collarbones, emptying the chest and emptying the belly. We're going to inhale, lift our heads up, bringing the face back to the center, engage your core, lift those knees back to the middle, shift your hips back down through the center, drop your knees together, walk the feet wide, bring your hands down by your hips, and just take a few breaths here. Taking note of any sensations you may be experiencing through your body at this time. And just allowing yourself a moment to process and assimilate the work that you're doing. Becoming familiar with your body and how it feels to have energy move through your body. The more you work with the energy, the more you'll learn that emotions even have an energetic component. And sometimes when we have unrepressed or unprocessed or repressed emotions, that we kind of store that in our body. Before I go into that, let's set up for the other side. So we want to press through our feet. We have our knees bent. We're going to shift our hips to the right, walk that left foot over, cross that right leg over the left. Take those arms out into that T shape. Inhale, and then exhale, dropping the knees over to your left. Lift your head up and look over that right hand. And then just allow yourself again to anchor into your pose using your breath, breathing in through your nose and then out through the nose. So the point that I was making is when we don't process our emotions, They kind of live in our tissue, in the fascia, and particularly. And when we do a practice like any kind of yoga, actually, massage may affect it, but yin specifically, especially, affects the fascia, and you may have what they call like an emotional release. So if that should happen to you, I just don't want you to be alarmed or afraid or feel like something not so positive happened. If anything, it's a pretty positive experience if you just allow it to kind of do its thing without overanalyzing or allowing yourself to feel fear about it. Fear is another emotion that just kind of clogs things up and wreaks havoc on our bodies. So using that breath again, the reason why the breath is so important for any kind of healing modality that you do, even to just meditation. When you breathe in, you're breathing in oxygen, which supports our bodies. It's a fuel for the blood. It feeds the heart. The heart houses the shin. The shin is our spirit. It's basically who we are. And when you do this, you're it's kind of like a conditioning, an exercise. It's like a energetic exercise. And so just like if you were doing 10 burpees in a row as fast as you can, it may feel very disconcerting and jarring while you do it, but you know it's only a matter of time before you're done, and you know you're going to benefit from it. And so that's what it's like when you do a yin practice. You know, you may experience feelings and things going on a different level, but know that it's not going to last forever. You're just processing things and assimilating energetic shifts in the body. Inhale, bring the head back to center. Gauge your core, lift those knees back up. Shift the hips down to the middle of the mat. And then we're just going to bring the knees together, walk the feet wide, take a few breaths here. Again, reassessing how you're feeling in your body now compared to how you felt when we started our practice today. And start to make this a habit so that you are more familiar and aware of the fact that you are eliciting a change, a tangible change with doing your practice, and that's your reward. Another reward is coming into your Shavasana. So we're going to do that here. So if you feel comfortable with the knees together, feet wide, go ahead and stay here. This can be your Shavasana. Maybe just bring those shoulder blades down and then toward one another. If you're not super comfortable there, you just appreciate the traditional Shavasana where you bring your legs straight out and press through your heels to the corner of your mat and then drop them towards the floor and let them release. Bring those shoulder blades back toward one another and down your back. You can kind of rock into that. And then allow your body weight to sink into the support of your mat and of the floor or ground. And just allow yourself to fully appreciate your efforts, the work you've done, the decision you made to honor yourself and do your practice today. Allow yourself to bask into all these good things that come from doing a yoga practice. of your problems as potential teachers. Most people would agree that one of the greatest sources of stress in our lives is our problems. To a certain degree, this is true. A more accurate assessment, however, is that the amount of stress we feel has more to do with how we relate to our problems than it does with the problems itself. In other words, how much of a problem do we make our problems? Do we see them as emergencies or as potential teachers? Problems come in many shapes, sizes, and degrees of seriousness, but all have one thing in common. They present us with something that we wish were different. The more we struggle with our problems and the more we want them to go away, the worse they seem and the more stress they cause. Ironically and luckily, the opposite is also true. When we accept our problems as an inevitable part of life, when we look at them as potential teachers, it's as if the weight has been lifted off our shoulders. Think of a problem that you have struggled with for quite some time. How have you dealt with this problem up until now? If you're like most, you probably struggled with it, mentally rehearsed it, analyzed it again and again, but have come up short. Where has all this struggle led you? Probably to even more confusion and stress. Now, think of the same problem in a new way. Rather than push away the problem and resist it, try to embrace it mentally. Hold the problem near to your heart. Ask yourself what valuable lesson or lessons this problem may be able to teach you. Could it be teaching you to be more careful or patient? Does it have anything to do with greed, envy, carelessness, or forgiveness? Or something equally powerful? Whatever problems you're dealing with, chances are they could be thought of in a softer way that includes a genuine desire to learn from them. When you hold your problems in this light, they soften like a clenched fist that is opening. Give this strategy a try, and I think you'll agree that most problems aren't the emergencies we think they are. And usually, once we learn what we need to learn, they begin to go away. Allow yourself to reflect for a few moments. Maybe bring in your awareness back to your breath by taking a deeper inhale. And then exhale everything out through the mouth with a sigh. Maybe 2 more times. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale everything out with a sigh. One last time at your own pace. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Roll over to whichever side feels most comfortable to you. We're just going to take a couple breaths here. Slowly bring yourself back up to a seated position. Maybe bring your hands onto your knees, palms down. Close your eyes. Take another nice deep inhale. And then exhale again with a nice deep sigh. One more time, inhale through your nose. And then exhale everything out. Dropping those hands down to the floor. Inhale, open your eyes, look up toward your hands coming together, and then draw your hands down in front of your face, down in front of the front of your heart. Come together in peace and namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you got a lot from your practice. And I hope if you haven't already that you will subscribe to my channel, or at least like this video, and maybe share it with someone you think may benefit from it. As always, I appreciate your time and support, and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.